the neck a little bit, okay? Number 4 is we're going to teach you how to knead, okay? So I want Rebecca to come over, and we're going to just take this and tuck it under here, pull it back just a little bit right to there, and Rebecca is going to show you girls how to knead. You guys already know, but I'm going to show you how to do it on Meshach, okay? So we pull down. Actually, I don't need Simon. Simon can show you how. So I want you to go through, and I want you fellas to watch. Why don't you come over here, fellas? And I want you, when Simon shows you how to knead, see, you're watching right now, and then we're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4. We look, okay? Then we say to the client, the patient, I'm ready to massage you now. Are you ready that I may massage? And they say yes. Then you do effleurage, that's 3. And then 4 is kneading. Okay? And Simon is going to show you how to knead. Kneading is just like kneading bread. Have you ever kneaded bread? I have. And you just you're always whatever it is. So basically, I'm going to have Simon go through 1, 2, 3, 4. So just go ahead and just so that they know the procedure to follow. Go ahead.
Very useful for warming the tissue. Something is there.
Yeah, putting it on a chair is better than putting it on the table. I've watched people, without telling me, sweep their arm around to relax in a different position, and boom, there went the oil. Be aware if you're in someone's home and you put it on the side here and you go over here.
So do you see what I'm doing when I'm doing the kneading?
I'm getting tired of this position, and they sweep their arm around and there goes all the oil.
Who would like to try?
Don't do it.
Doing some kneading.
Keep it somewhere where they're not going to.
Do it once again. Okay, so there's many different ways we're doing. I'm doing it this direction. I'm doing it the other direction.
Can you girls see her?
So you can take the shoulder or the arm and you can do kneading, alternating like this. There's not really enough oil here. You're not pinching.
Hello?
No pinching. That's not it.
National Printer has called me twice.
Not tickling also.
Could you call them and find out what they want? So I'm in class and I really can't.
Who would like to come?
So just say, yeah, you called Daniel and he's in class. So what can I help you with? Yeah.
Okay, Pradeep, you'll have to tell. How does her kneading feel compared to mine? He understands.
No.
He knows. He remembers from yesterday, no? He has to tell how good it is, no? Okay. So I won't take my hand off till you put your hand, because we should not leave him somewhere in the middle.
So if you're ready and they all watch, you're ready to start. Go ahead. Some of you already know about kneading, some of you know about massage, and some of you don't. So we're just going
How is that pressure, Pradeep? What? Little too fast. Need to go slow. Go slow. It's too fast.
You're going fast, he's telling you to go slow. This much?
So now the only thing Simon wants to do is keep his thumb a little more here. The only reason is if these muscles are really tight, he's going to focus on that, okay? So I notice when you're out, you just want to remember.
Are you
that,
using your body
because
weight,
a lot of
giving
muscles
pressure?
are tight right down through here. The only other thing I would add,
He's
and
telling what?
Simon's doing a very good job, is that when I
Are you
do
putting
it,
pressure
remember,
as
the
you
way
are
Simon does
massaging?
it, the way James
Like
does
this?
it, they do an excellent
Body
job.
pressure always. You don't want to
What
just
you
use
want to
hands.
remember is
Because
we
if you use hands
all
only,
learn
hands will be so
something
tired.
and then we change
You have
it
to use
just a
body
little
pressure
bit to
to
fit
give that nice
who
pressure.
we are. Okay? So I'm not faulting James or Simon when I say this.
How
so
is
when
that?
I massage someone and
Slow
I go
down,
up,
slow down.
I'm not up
She's
this far,
just getting
I'm
lots of
actually
energy.
getting my
Yes.
hands down in here. Remember I showed you I'm more like this. So when I'm massaging someone, I'm more like
I'm wondering
this.
if it feels good or any
Okay?
pinching is
and
there.
I'm using this bone right here, and I'm down a little more. Simon's
Good,
up
good,
a
he
little
says.
higher,
Okay,
and
very
that's
good.
okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You
Okay.
remember, you learn something, and then you adjust to your hands are going to be a little different than mine. So
But
you
you again,
adjust
you're
that.
trying to go a
So
little
they
faster.
both
Just
do a great
work on
job.
going little
I
slow
keep
only,
my
no?
hands pretty flat. And some of you will say you like the way James
Okay,
does it or the
next.
way Simon does it, and that's fine. So when I'm doing this, I'm keeping this bone down in here.
Carefully so it
okay?
doesn't as much as possible
And
grip.
Mishak can feel that. So I'm doing this, okay? So when he does what he does, you can see I've got this part of my hand down more. But that's because I've been doing this for years. And so I find
You're going to
I
give
can
marks.
get
Okay, how
more
many marks for
therapeutic
this one?
benefit by doing that. So Simon might be up a little more. And it's a little
100%.
hard for me to tell. Maybe he had his hand
Okay.
down. Maybe
Very
James
good.
does it the way Simon does it. We all do it a little different. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just a little
But
different.
when you come
So
back down,
the idea is that you want to get
You
the
need to
most
keep your
out of
hand
your
like
time,
you're kind of going
okay?
up or up this way. So keeping
yeah,
both
other
the
than that,
thumbs and
when
the
you're up,
hands on.
Try to have your thumbs
And spreading
more
fingers
down
a little bit
here.
when you're coming down.
And sometimes I'm like that. I mean, when you have someone big like
like
this,
that.
you might end up being here
good.
more, okay? You find out where the problem is. When you have a bigger person, you know, when we teach you lymphatic drainage, and you're starting to do this, you may have to stay in the same spot and take your hands and go down around because their leg is so big. So the bigger the person, the more you have to adjust your thinking to make everything
good.
fit. So
Yeah.
James, Simon, that was fine.
No, she was not in the
he
class
is
yesterday,
bigger.
so both
You know,
things
your
she wants to
hand is
practice, no?
only so big. And so coming down around like that is fine. If this is where the problem is, then you're going to focus on your thumbs here. So that's just kind of something to remember. Okay.
That means more pressure he
Go ahead,
wants.
James. Why don't you show them? Okay, yeah. So why don't you divide out? You saw how Simon did. It was very good. Why don't we have a crew over here and we have some here. Remember 1, 2, 3, 4. We look and then we get permission to touch them. And then we do effleurage. We're warming up the back.
Yes.
And then we
it
do
looks
kneading.
good. The speed is also
And
good.
remember, we don't need on, when Simon did that,
But sometimes, like especially if you're on a little more muscular portion, you can grab a little more. But obviously here,
so
you
we're
can't
kneading
pinch.
here, and then
so
we come
it's
over
just,
here.
it's a more subtle
and
kneading.
Some people,
but with the arm or leg, you
will
can
knead
knead
this
more.
way, and they'll switch and come around and do this way.
Sorry?
You can do both ways. You can stay in one
No,
position
kneading.
and do both sides.
We don't want pinching.
I was trained
Pinching is
that you
painful.
stay on this side
It's
and
a
then you walk around the
kneading,
table and you work
like
on that
chapati
side.
dough.
Okay, everyone does it a little different. Once you're in someone's home and you're on a bed and it may be against the wall, you have no option but to stay on one side. So you have to make things work. You just figure it out, you think. So remember, there's procedure
Shall I show?
and then there's adjustment within procedure. Like
Yes.
when I was
If I can
thinking,
stand there only.
Simon
If you
needed
could
to
just
have his
step back.
thumb here more, and then I put my hands on. He's a big body. And so as soon as you have a big body, you're going to start adjusting that. No, you're going to have your hands
there's-
out a little
yes.
wider. Okay?
This is alternate.
But
We're going
what is
one
the
hand, one
focus?
hand,
Is
one hand,
this
one
the
hand.
muscle problem? If
Or
that's it, then you're going
this
to be
one
in.
is
If
together,
it isn't,
no?
and it's all over, then you're going to just have your hands a little wider. Just remember, there's certain basic yeses, and then there's certain adjustments where you're going to adjust a little bit. Okay. So if you're in line or whatever you're doing, then just start working each one of you. Okay. How are we doing?
I think we're doing good.
Shall I finish, huh?
Yeah. Actually, it's pinned, no?
Okay. Ladies, when I massage someone here, that's right. I stay in one quadrant. You have two quadrants. You know what a quadrant is? A quadrant is an area. When I massage here, and then I come away from the vertebrae going down the center, and I go there. I don't usually knead like this, okay? So let me just show you for a minute. Watch how I do this. I knead close together, and I'm getting my thumb right into this muscle. So I'm not going like this. I knead like this. It's more effective, okay? And I'm getting this in here. I'm making real progress. I've got my thumb here on this. We're going to show you how to do deep compression, but I'm kneading. I keep my hands close together, not far. This is not the best way to do it. This is the best way. I think Jessie does this. She's good at this. You're getting your hands in here. It's more effective when you do it this way. Then I switch over to here, and remember, you've got to get your position right. This is not how to do it. This is extending your wrist too much. You've got to get down if you're going to stay on this side, and you're going to knead in here like this. Make sure you're bending your body down, because it saves your back and it saves everything. Yeah, your legs will get a little tired. But when I knead, I keep my hands close like this. It's way more effective.
I don't think I have tissue. I only have this one.
Hey, Simon.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you need? No, not here.
That's better.
I have this one. Yeah.
Don't be afraid to dig in there. When I did the kneading, how is her kneading? Is it just the same, or does it need to be too strong, or is it not strong enough? He just said yes for all of them. It's okay? All right. Okay. He gave you the fist.
You can go, they will come.
Yeah.
Once you go, they will come. I'll keep my hand, you can go.
Okay, I don't think you have enough pressure coming back. That's good. That's good. Remember, we're fanning out. Okay, watch me. You step over here. You step over here. We're going up with our fingers, okay? And we might go in here. Wow, you're warm.
Okay.
Okay, and then we come out, and where you're going to find a lot of tension right down here on these muscles on either side of the vertebrae. So when we go up, we fan out like this, and we come back. Well, your body's great to work on. Yeah, that's why I have you here, okay? And then you get down and you push. See, if you're like this, it's not enough. You see how the difference between the two? Yeah, you see the skin moving. You want it, the skin. Now, when you first start out like that, it's not that firm. But as you start really getting into it each time, you go deeper and deeper. So that's something you want to remember. When you're massaging, when you first start out, you're not like into the body. So you're a little bit lighter, you're feeling things, you're getting used to 10 eyes, and you're feeling your way along. You come up like this, you come out, the thumbs come down, you're feeling that muscle, okay? Once you start kneading, why do you look and why, listen to me everybody, guys, listen to me. Why do we go up with the effleurage and then we start kneading and we do effleurage the second time? Why? We want to know if we're making progress. So I want each one of you to remember when you do your first effleurage, okay, and then you're kneading, and the second time you do the effleurage, you're wanting to know, am I making progress? Is the muscle starting to loosen up? You've got to take a mental picture of feeling with your 10 eyes. You're feeling, this is how stiff the body is, and now I did all this kneading, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 4, 5, 6 minutes of kneading up and down, and now I'm going to do effleurage. Do I feel the muscles loosening up? That's what Rebecca and James and Simon and I are doing. We want to know, am I making progress? If you're not making progress, what are you going to do to change that? That's what comes next. And you say, no, and I told Meshach, I'm going to let him work on Bill, because Bill is a piece of plywood. And he is going to have, when his hands are done, he's going to feel like he just worked for 10 hours throwing rocks or something, because Bill is impossible. When I worked on Bill, my hands were so sore, I was just like aching, because I had to kill myself to get in to penetrate his back. That's when you've got a man that's really tough. You won't find ladies like that. You're going to find you have to work through a lot of fat. That's what's going to be your struggle, you girls. But with guys, it's going to be more muscular. So remember, you're always thinking. You've got certain procedures, but you're thinking through all those procedures, because you're going to be the best massage therapist when you're done with this program. Okay? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Get the thumbs, that's it, get the thumbs. If you turn your hand a little more, I think you'll do better, okay? Yeah, fan out a little bit. And as I was telling the guys, you all learn how to do something, and then you might adjust it a little bit to fit your needs of who you are and how your hands work. But you learn to do something a certain way, and then after a bit you try to, if you need to adjust it to fit who you are, then that's okay. If you have got big hands or small hands, maybe you do it slightly different.
An oil slick.
Yeah.
Everyone is putting oil.
Well, then you don't need any more. Then just put your hands on. So who's next? Beulah? Okay, do you all see Beulah's body? Are you all watching this? No? I want you to stay where you are. Are you following me? I'm not making fun of her. I just want you to see this is a learning experience. I'm not picking on any one of you. This is not massage. This is massage. You get your body over the body you're working on. And so when you're doing that, you're pushing down. Rebecca knows how to do push-ups. Maybe we need to get you girls doing push-ups. This is not massage, okay? You're stretching out, dear. You need to get your body over his body, and then, okay, watch me. Your hand goes up like this. You should be moving the skin so you see it rippled. It comes out, and then your thumbs come down the side here, like this. Okay, if you work on Meshach, his body's so big you can't do that. But then you have to pay attention. Is this where the pain is?
For some of us with small hands, we can't quite reach that far.
Right, you can't. So then when you can't reach that far, then you be sure to keep your thumbs there, because you're pushing up with your fingers here and you're coming down with your thumbs, okay? Go ahead. You still need to get your body over his body. Okay, watch me, Beulah. Beulah, watch me. You're going like this with your fingers up, okay? The fingers are down. Everybody, your fingers are down. When I do this, I'm like this. You follow me? I've got my heel in here and I've got my fingers down. I'm leaning on this part and I'm leaning on this part. So my weight is I'm going to exaggerate this for you. This is how my weight is. If I was doing push-ups like this, I'd be pushing weight on the end of my fingertips and on the heel of my hand. So when I'm going up like this, I'm moving the skin. I'm not going up like this, okay? That's what you're doing, okay? And you come around, and it's just a matter of remembering how to do this. He has a nice body to work on, and so does Ebby, so it's good for you girls. And they have great bodies, yeah. So that's what you're doing, because most of the time, what is this muscle again?
The erector spinae.
Erector spinae muscle is a really stiff muscle. Now your muscle, erector spinae, that is really like steel, and it needs to loosen up. So that's why you go up like this and you come down like this. You've got ribs in here, so it's not as crucial. This is the important part right here. And I'm leaning down, and then I come down like this. You're catching him.
It's better to remove your watch.
Yeah, if you've got something right in here, doesn't work. By the way, I don't know if we did a fingernail check.
Yeah.
Did we do a fingernail check?
So when you're putting your pressure down, if you don't have to like this,
Right, show her.
I have to cut.
Okay, fingernails too long. Okay, good. I want those fingernails cut, and I want you to keep them trimmed.
Little.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, good. Yours could be a little bit shorter, just a little. Very nice, excellent, excellent. Beautiful, excellent. 100, you get 100. Okay, they could be a little bit shorter, but not bad. See my fingernails?
Yeah, you need to cut.
Okay. Okay, I'm doing a fingernail check. Very nice.
No, you here, see. I was telling that will scratch his back.
I want that trimmed off tonight, okay? I'm doing a fingernail check.
Good. Now next part, no? Now you have to go for the kneading. Kneading.
That one?
Ah.
Here on we started.
You can do it from the side or you can do it from the bottom. Different ways. You can start it like this if you want to start it there. Like that. How is that?
Collect the muscle.
Good, good. Yeah. What it looks like to me right now, this arm is a little bit okay. This one is struggling a little bit, but anyway, you can get it. I know this hand has some struggle, no?
With this hand I am able to do.
Ah, don't worry, it will improve.
What I like, what he's doing is he's keeping his hands close together. So watch me how I knead. James might do it the same way.
And
when I
also,
need, I'm
be
going
careful
back
your
and forth
dupatta.
like this.
Hers was dragging
okay, there's
on
a little
him.
too much
So
oil on him.
make sure if you're
See
wearing
how I
dupatta,
need like
you
this?
keep it
And if
backside.
you watch me in slow motion, you can
Yeah,
see
and
how
your
my
tag, your
hands
name
are
tag
almost
also may-
working together. I'm not going like this. I'm staying in one area like this.
Yeah,
I'm
if you lift
pushing
and tuck a
down
little
with
bit or
these
something,
fingers,
just
and
so
I
it doesn't
feel
hit,
what's
that's
going
all.
on, and I need to change my position into archer position here. And I keep my hands like this. It's much more effective. This is more therapeutic kneading. If you're like this, it's not the same. If you're like this, it's not the same. You got to get your hands down there. And then I'm using, when I'm going like this, I'm using you feel the bone right here on your
Now,
hand?
Pradeep,
Go
you're
ahead.
telling
Touch the
everyone's
bone
pressure
on
is
your
okay.
hand. When I'm
You
doing
have to
this,
tell
I'm
if it is
digging
not okay,
this
okay?
in at the same
You
time.
have to tell.
So I'm doing this, I'm trying
Yeah.
to get everything
They
on my
should all
hand.
have
I'm
good
using
pressure.
this little pinky and I'm really pushing in here. Look at how the skin is rippling. So this is therapeutic kneading, not just feel-good fluff. Okay, we're fixing the person. So you've got to really get in here, okay? Now I'm at this angle, but for the girls, they need to be more like this, and you can also, okay?
Slowly, he's telling. Little slow. One thing you'll find that every person likes a little different. So you have to listen. Somebody will say, oh, I can barely feel that pressure. The next person will tell, you're killing me, stop, stop. But what is worse is if they don't tell. Then afterwards, 10 years later, they'll be telling, that man was ripping this flesh off my bones, no? Somebody was telling me recently they had that experience in massage, no? And that therapist was not listening to them. So we should have a careful, thoughtful mind for that person. We should not give them that kind of experience at all. That is okay. Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay. Next. Who is there? Ah, come, come. You need to have access to the end of the spine. So that means here.
Okay.
So, like that you have to do so that you can fully access all the way down to the last vertebrae, no?
Okay.
And you can pull a little bit down farther if you would like, but sometimes we try to avoid pulling as far as possible, but. And so then the other draping, he has to be on the opposite side. Now the leg draping, you learned that or you didn't?
Yeah, and that day we learned that.
Yeah. So that one we completed. So it was this one and then also the one that was supine.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can do that. So now what you have to do, okay, Pradeep, I'm going to have you roll over so we can practice doing that. So I need to pick up this like this. Okay, you can roll over towards me. Towards me? Okay. So once he has rolled over, so now you can keep your arm down inside. So if this is Mrs. Kumar and not Pradeep, then you need to be very careful of draping for the chest. So what we did, you put your hand on the clavicle to anchor it, and then you're going to pull this down. You're going to bring his arm out, or her arm in that case, out, and we want to anchor it down like this, under the body. She was not in the class, no, so that's why I'm just reviewing for her,
Listen,
like that.
keep working. I'm going to tell you a little story. You know, I'm a storyteller. My trainer, the lady I work with, has arms bigger than mine. Okay?
Now, if it's a lady, you want to do like this, not like this, right? Because you're going to put your hand on her breast if you do that. So you can't do that.
The only one that should be talking is Rebecca or Helen or someone who's working like James, okay? This, we would bring in what we call guinea pigs, okay? Experimental people. We had a lady for 2 years 3 years, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years, had 300 massages in 2 to 3 years. And when she came to us, getting down on the table, she wasn't boo-hoo crying. The tears just came out of her eyes. She could not control the tears. She said, I'm in such pain, it's unbelievable. 6 of us worked on her. I got to work on her back. Thank you, Jesus. 2 of the girls worked on her legs, and 2 of the girls worked on her arms. We worked on her for 2 hours. And my teacher has a hydroculator, which is like getting the electric water bag with putting a wet cloth on top. But a hydroculator is where you put this thing in a water, and then you pull it out and you put it on the person. We worked on her for 2 hours. When she got up from the table, she said, this is the best of all 300 massages. She didn't have to say that. She said, I'm not just saying this for words. And I said, what were you doing? She said, I drove a truck that the wheels were 15 feet tall. Do you know how tall this is? It's called a Euclid truck, and they build dams where water that holds, and they have these Euclid monster trucks, and the wheels are as tall as buildings. And they would pick up huge amounts. I said, didn't you have an air seat? I have a tractor trailer license. I can drive big, big, massive tractor trailers because I've done a lot of stuff, right? And so she said, I had an air seat, but these trucks have no springs in them. And she said, I'm up and down and banging. And she said, after 3 years, it ruined my back. We gave her the best massage out of 300 massages. And when she got up, she said, oh, I don't need any help. I said, you don't need any help? She said, no, I feel so good after 2 hours. She said, this is the best I have felt in 3 years. Therapeutic massage is not feel good. You have to know how to loosen up the muscles. And we will be doing that with heat, but you girls have to dig in. And if your muscles aren't strong, did I give you all a little tiny yellow ball? And I asked you to do 10 to 12 of these, and then put it in this hand and 10 to 12 of these. That's one set. And then you do it again. Like Rebecca, you look at her hand, she's strong. Okay, some of you are also strong. But the only way you're going to be a good massage therapist is by exercising that hand. You've got to get those muscles. I want you to be the best. I'm expecting a lot from you. Do your best. Keep up with it. Squeeze those balls. Get yourself going. You've got 3 months to be the best. Take it seriously. You girls have to know, when you get a fat lady, you're going to have to work through all that fat, and you're going to have to be strong to do that. Working on Ebby and working on our dear friend here, these are, what's that? Pradeep. Their backs are great. They're good for you to work on. But once you get someone who's fat, you have to work through all that fat. Yeah. He got tired of lying.
No, she wasn't here for the draping yesterday, so we were showing how to.
Oh, good. Excellent. Excellent. Good. Thank you for listening to my story. And my goal is to make you as good as what I learned so that you can do the same thing to people. When you're done, people will get up after 2 hours and say, wow, I feel fantastic. That's my goal.
So they like to learn next step.
Rebecca talked about that. We're ready. So what we're going to do is you've got the effleurage, you have the kneading, okay? And then after that, we're going to do compression. So compression is going to be with the hands, okay? And it's either going to be like this, it's going to be, you can, whatever we learned on the chair massage, okay? And it can be like this, digging in more with the hands, maybe like this. but I'm going to take this bone and I'm going to hold on and I'm going to go like this. And I'm getting my body over his body. And I'm leaning on him with my weight. I'm pushing hard, okay? So whatever we've learned in compression, and there's many different ways to do compression, but this is one way to do compression. Maybe you need to go around to the other side with the left hand and go through, because if you do compression here, it's like this. If you do compression here, it's sideways, okay? And you're going to feel it, but you don't want to. This is called overextension. It hurts your wrist. You need to be careful you don't damage your wrist. So compression, like on the chair, it was like this. You had clothes on, okay? And you can be up in the air. You can go like this with compression. This is a nice one. Okay,
But
so Rebecca's teaching compression. You started on that?
I'm just starting, so please
Okay.
lead us.
So, well, you know how to do that. So for you girls, compression, okay? So you have effleurage, and then you have kneading, right? And when I knead, see how close I keep my hands together?
How is that pressure, Pradeep?
This is not kneading. This is good kneading, okay? So I knead like this. Did
See,
you
I'm
all
not
do it
putting
that
my
way?
pressure
Okay.
on the spine,
Compression,
but next to
and
the spine.
Rebecca and I are going to teach you
Now, we can also do
myofascial
compression this way,
release,
right?
which is really great for those women who are like super tense in through here. But compression
a time.
is using, Rebecca, what's this bone? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. So when you do compression, you're using all of this, okay?
Yeah, but he wants
you're
the name of the
focusing
bone.
on here.
And I don't
so
remember
if
that.
I'm going to do compression, and notice I'm really going to get into my archer position, okay? So, and again, I'm not going to
So
be
again,
like
if I'm
this.
doing it like this,
right? This is wrong.
see,
gonna
I'm not
be
pressing on the spine, I'm
compression now.
pressing on the
I'm
spinalis
pushing.
muscles next to the spine.
Compression is like doing push-ups, okay? If you're going to do a push-up, you're doing it like this, okay? And so I'm going to get in here, and I'm going to use this bone, and I'm going to lean into him, and I've got my archer position. You see can you see my legs from there? And now I'm going to lean in here, and I'm going to go like
in the chair
this.
massage, remember?
And usually when you're doing compression, you're going to go slower, okay? This is not good compression. This is good compression, okay? So I'm leaning in. Once you learn the myofascial
doing-
release,
Sliding. And we can do that too.
you're trying, with compression, you're trying to get the muscles to
He's doing
relax.
this one.
And you're moving along the erector spinae.
Yeah, he's on.
Now
only
I
using
could
one.
feel
But
he
you can also
tightened
use
up a little
both.
bit right here. Is
Both
that too
sometimes
hard?
easier if you're not as strong.
Yes? A little.
That's also
Okay.
acceptable.
So
How is that pressure, Pradeep?
I can feel his muscle, and then I'm coming up here, I'm leaning over his body, and I come down here, okay?
Good pressure. He's
And I
enjoying.
start again, and I lean. I'm using that bone on my finger, and I lean my body forward, and I go with the flow, okay? And now I go up this way on this side. When I'm going up on this side, if I'm going to stay on this side and you're at a bed
Now, right
and you
now,
have
I'm
no
feeling
choice, you have
like
to stay
it
here.
would be easier
then
for
I'm
me to
gonna
do
go up
this if I was on the
sideways.
other side of the table.
Okay.
So
You
it's
can't
okay
go up
for
like
you
this. Otherwise,
to
you're
walk around
trying
the
to do
table
like
and
this,
do from
and
the
you
other
can't.
side.
Your body position
If
doesn't
you
work.
Can.
So
But
remember,
if you're
we're
against the
I have an
bed,
itch.
you know, the bed is against the
Remember,
wall.
we're always thinking,
you can't.
right? And
you
if
might
you're
have
always
to
thinking,
adjust
you're
your position
figuring
so you
out
can get good
how
pressure,
to protect
no?
your body
So you might want
and
to,
how to work on the body.
even if you
so
are
I'm
on
going
the
up
bed,
on
you
the
could
left
put
side
your
with
knee
my
up
right
and get a
hand,
little bit over
and now
more.
I'm going up
So then
here,
again, you have more
and
pressure,
I'm
no?
pushing like this. And I want my body over his body. Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm saving my back.
Yeah, sometimes you
I'm
cannot.
saving my back.
Yeah.
Okay? And then I'm going to go back up. And I'm careful not to get right on the vertebrae. Okay?
Now we know that
So that is
Mr. Kumar
compression.
here has
There's
some
other
tension right
types
here
of
because we've already
compression
felt
where
it,
you're
right?
going like this, like
So,
we did
right
with
here,
the,
no, Pradeep? It's a little sore, right?
the chair massage.
So if
but
we
I'm
know he
finding
has
that I pretty much
pressure
stick
here,
to this
we
kind
can
of
do some deep
compression,
tissue work here, but
okay?
we're not learning that yet.
Because
but you could
it's
spend
more
some extra
efficient.
time
If I'm going
doing
like
some
this,
compression
it's just
here,
not quite the
because you
same.
know that's where the
On
tension
the chair
is,
massage,
and you're not just
you're like this and you're
mindlessly
pushing,
doing, right?
and it's a little
So you
different.
wanna
But now
give
I've got
more
my body
where it's
over his
needed.
body. This is the
How is that
easiest
pressure
way
pretty?
to do compression. And you can do this. Okay, I didn't show the guys over there. You can do this compression. You're just moving a little bit, not like this.
Sometimes
That's
it's
not
okay
good
to just put
compression.
pressure and
Good
hold.
compression is just a tiny little move.
Is that too much pressure, pretty?
Okay, that's very nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Yeah, let me show the guys that. Go ahead, who's next? Let me show you one thing I forgot to show you. I do this most of the time. I'm not
I'm
going to do
putting
this so
pressure
much.
continuous, but you can see
when
my
I'm
hand is
doing
sliding a little
compression
bit.
here, don't
That's
forget
okay.
this is not
You won't
bad
hold more
compression.
than 90 seconds
This
usually.
is good compression.
Sometimes you'll hold less
okay,
than
you're
that,
just
but
jiggling the hand.
sometimes
yeah.
for some-
you're just
some kinds of strokes,
Notice
especially
I'm not
mild factor
going.
release,
I'm
90 seconds seems to be what
the
it takes
skin
for
is
connective
moving with
tissue
my
to
hand.
reset.
I'm just
So
jiggling a
sometimes
little bit.
you'll want to hold it that
and
long.
I'm down. And if I'm here and I'm going
And
this
I'm
way,
guessing that
it's just
because
jiggling a little
there's
bit.
tension
You
over
can do
here,
that. Yeah, great. I wasn't
we
even.
may
I forgot all
have
about that one, which
tension
is
over
pretty
here.
typical for
So
me
I'm
to
just
forget
going to
things.
feel.
You can do that.
Does anyone know
but
what that
remember,
feels
this
like
is
when you feel
bad
tension?
compression.
Did anyone not
That's
feel
not
that?
real compression. This is good compression.
You showed
You're
yesterday.
just jiggling
So
a
anyone
little
didn't
bit.
feel
And if you
yesterday?
want to use your knuckles, yeah, I forgot to show the girls
You
that.
can
So
feel it
this is
here.
fine. And you can also, remember, you keep
Right
your
here, feel-
knuckles
put your finger
off
exactly
of
where
the
I am.
vertebrae, but you
Can you feel that?
you can
Yeah.
jiggle a little
Feels
bit like
some
this,
small
and that's
rope is
also
there.
a type of
Yeah,
compression, just
that
like we
is
did
a
with the
very
chair.
tight
Yeah,
muscle.
good. Thanks for reminding
Right
me.
here. It's not even a knot, it's like a continuous string. In that spinalis muscle, those fibers are very tight. So if we apply compression, that's one of the first steps in
Let me show you. I showed you can
Both
do
sides,
this
yeah.
kind of jiggling.
Yeah, both sides
and the
is very
fellas
tight.
just reminded me, if you
So,
girls are
that's good, we
tired
can
and
work
you
on
need to
that.
do a straight on, right? Not like this, that's a little hard. Straight
so
on.
by the
you
compression,
can
by the
just
friction, all
jiggle
those
a
things,
little
we're working
bit.
to loosen
Just
that.
twist it a little bit. And you can do this. Make sure, if you're afraid you're going to hit the vertebrae, keep your fingers right here.
Did you feel?
Okay? If you're afraid you're going to hit the vertebrae, keep your fingers right there. And you can come down, digging
It's there.
this part
Feel
of your
that?
knuckles down. That is compression, okay? So
Is that too much
I
pressure,
forgot
Pradeep?
to show you that, which I'm good at forgetting
Too
all
much.
the
Okay,
things
see,
to
that's
show
a very
you.
tender area. So when we're pressing a lot, it hurts. So we have to be careful about that. Okay.
It should be closer. Yeah, keep the hold.
You didn't feel? Let her feel.
It just saves your wrists, and you're here, and you're just doing that little
It's like
twisting.
when you
okay?
press
Yeah.
and you go deeper.
In other words,
you
I'm
can
trying to
feel.
protect you
See
because
here,
if you do
just-
4 or 5 of these, or 2 or 3 in a day, you girls do
See,
2 or 3
feel
in a
that?
day, you know your hands are going
See
to
how
be
that
like,
is like a string type feeling? Is that? Yeah, that is a tight muscle, no? But we should be careful because it's painful muscle, no?
Maybe too many times.
Yeah, we don't want to more aggravate it. But now we know these are tight. So when we're putting compression, we're doing it with knowing, with understanding. I was showing them all where he has a very tight muscle right here.
Yeah, he does. And I was forgetting some of the compression ways. Did you show them? You can jiggle this.
I didn't
just
show
a-
that part.
Yeah, we were showing compression. Let's see, compression this way with the left hand, but when you're crossed, you can do the right hand or you can go up this way, sideways. But one of the things I forgot is when we're doing compression, I find the jiggling more relaxing and more
How is that,
beneficial
Pradeep?
than just straight, because I've got a little jiggle. It helps my muscle to release more. Okay, and then I come down and don't push too hard in the kidney area. And notice I'm not doing this. Do you get that? I'm not doing this. I'm doing this, and then I slide my hand because I have oil on, and I'm sliding my hand. And then the other thing for you girls that we did with the chair is you can do this here. So if you're doing this, you keep your fingers close. I'm spitting. Keep your fingers close. This is straight on. It saves your hand. This is a little harder. okay? If you're like this is overextend, hyper extension, not good. So if you've got your archer position, you can lean into the body and you can go like this all the way up, okay? Can it have a little twist? In this case, it's more, I like this the best. I find my muscles really relax when I do this, very relaxing. Try different things, and then you can try this too. But again, he's got a lot of bone like I do. When you get on my back, you'll see I'm real bony. And so everything doesn't work for everyone. The more fat you have and the more muscle you have, the more different types of compression you can do. So remember, we're always thinking, who do I have? Do they have a lot of fat? Do they have a lot of muscle? Are they thin? Yeah. So try those different ways of compression.
So who would like to come and try some compression first? Okay. So we did some different ways.
Are you done? I wanted to see. Can I just watch Angel?
So it looks like to me it's a little
Nice.
difficult for you.
Good,
Like you're
digging
feeling a
that
little
bone
tense
in.
about doing that.
Good, good.
Just do it again. Let me see.
Okay. So like when we were doing that one,
Good. Nice
leaning,
and
I'm
slow.
leaning from my body
Not
weight
too
actually.
Slow. Good.
Lean, 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 lean.
Make sure you're over that.
lean,
Make sure your bone is
lean,
right over
lean.
that muscle.
Like
Here's
that.
the vertebrae. You
And
need
then
to be
Dr. Daniel was
fairly
also
close.
showing like with doing
Yeah.
vibration. So you
Very
can try
nice.
both ways, no?
Okay, show the jiggle.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've talked at least 4 different ways of doing compression now.
Show me the jiggle.
Exactly.
Remember?
So go ahead and try the different ways.
Notice how this is still.
But
and
I
I'm
feel like
jiggling.
you're
There's
not
a
putting
jiggle.
your body weight.
Yeah,
like
or you can go
it
like
feels
that.
like your
That's
body
fine
is out
too.
here and your hand is out here.
Lean
So if
your
you're like
body.
this,
Lean your body. Get your arms bent. It's not a straight arm.
and I
A little
see
bit
you're
fast.
doing like this
That's
with
a
your
little
hand,
fast.
like
a little
side.
slower.
But it's
a little
not
more
side, it's
penetrating.
here.
It's a little. Yeah.
This part.
You're moving too fast up here. We want it to be therapeutic. You're fixing the muscle.
How is that pressure, Pradeep?
Yeah, I'm not saying slow down this. Yeah, watch me. I like the jiggle. See this little jiggle? My muscles just absolutely go, oh, wonderful. And I'm just jiggling. And yet there's oil on the back, and so my hand's just moving along. I'm hardly pushing it at all. And it just comes right along, okay? It's just sliding right along. And I'm careful to get away
You
from the
can
vertebrae
if you want
there.
to, but more than likely,
so
like it
I'm
depends
not
on what
doing
you're trying to
this,
do.
Okay,
Sometimes
that's not
it's
the same
closer,
thing.
easier to do closer
It's just
to
a
you.
little bit of a jiggle.
It depends on which stroke
okay,
you're doing.
wave at me.
But like if
Wave
you're
at
doing
me.
this one like this, it'll be easier to do this side from opposite.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
You keep this still, and it's like it just kind of like
Did you
I'm
complete?
flopping my hand back and forth.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this. Practice
Be careful,
that. That's
because
what it
you're,
is.
you're pressing.
And then go ahead
see,
and do the
when you're
straight
pressing
arm
this
with the
direction,
knuckles. Go ahead.
you should be pressing up, or you should be pressing down. But if you're pressing this way onto the spine, you can
And
easily
you
put
keep
too
your
much pressure on the
hand
spine. So be
right
careful,
in
no?
front here, so you know you're not on the vertebrae.
Joe, can you remove that mobile from him? Let him relax. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. Making sure, because your fingers know where the vertebrae is, and the knuckles are a little hard. You don't have good eyes right here. You want to make sure that you're not on. Good. Very good. Good. Okay.
Well, actually, your
Okay,
hand doesn't at
Sneha.
all look relaxed. It looks
You're
very much
on.
like your hand is stiff, no? Stiff. Yeah, and so
Are you leaning against?
you don't have to, your hands can be done like this, but you're pressing with this.
Get your foot. No, you're fine. Just slide this foot over. Leave your other foot where it is. That's it.
Why don't you try doing
want
also
your
the
body
way that
down
Dr. Daniel
lower.
did? Like
You get
sliding
your body
type.
down lower.
like this.
Not that one. Let me show.
Good.
You can step aside. I cannot show from this side. Please,
So what do you say?
like
It's
this
too
compression.
much?
But
Okay.
you have to, I have to be standing where you're standing, or I
Yep.
cannot do.
You can go slow like that, or you can jiggle. Either way. You want to make sure you're not on the vertebrae. You have a hard time with that. Can you jiggle? You can't.
It's going fast.
Yeah. Do you notice where your body is? Your body needs to be over this way more.
It looks pretty good. How does it feel to you?
Because by the
Pretty?
time you get up here, you're way out
Pressure
here.
is okay. Everything is okay now. Nothing is feeling too light or not light enough.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Everything is supposed to flow. Everything is for the client down. Everything
Okay.
is supposed to feel like you know what you're doing. So
Okay, let's-
consistency and flow and smoothness and just keep moving.
So when he was doing that,
no
he's doing like
jerking, never taking your hand
Hand is
off
loose.
the patient, keeping your hand on. Yeah.
your fingers are stiff. And it should be like this, no?
Okay. I really like this. Why? Because my muscles just
Try
love
using your
this
other hand
movement.
since that one is your better hand. no?
Really good. And I'm not
how
on
is
the
that?
vertebrae.
Good. Okay.
Can you do that?
Take the hand from that one.
My hand is
See, what you're doing is you're doing this. And you can do that, okay? But you're not doing this.
only massage is good. Here also we can do
You,
this and
you have
you
to practice. You have to you girls practice. You can come up to someone's back and you just get on there and you just practice. Okay? Yep.
But it's more.
It works. You have to practice. You're not
shaking
used to how to
motions
do it.
than turning.
So practice.
Yes, you can use turning, but
Practice.
shaking is better.
That's pretty good, but you need a
I
little
think
more
we
of a
might
shake.
even need a little more
Okay,
oil
you
on
can go
his back.
like this. See,
It's
what
looking
I
like
see
we
you
have not
what
put
I
oil
see
in
you
a
doing
while,
is
no?
this.
If we add a
Okay?
little oil,
And that's
it would be
pretty
nice for him.
similar. That's pretty similar. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, and then with that, and that saves your hand, right? That's how you save your hand. You can either go down like that or you can move a little bit. Okay? And when you're
can
doing
even
that, you
try
have
your
your
fist, no?
fingers ahead so that you know you're not going to hit the vertebrae.
How
you-
is that pretty?
yeah.
Is that too much pressure?
When you're here,
That's good,
this is
okay.
here, and these fingers stay ahead all the way to guide to make sure this stays off of the vertebrae.
He's liking
bone.
that one. Good,
Why
good.
did I pick?
So he's saying
That's
more pressure.
it. Very good. And you
How
can
is
do
that
that
now?
too. If you
Still
can't
need more.
jiggle, then you can make
still
small
needs more
little
pressure.
circular movements. Not big ones, little ones. Leaning
Yeah.
on that body. Lean your body on
Yeah.
there. You've got some. You can do that. You've got some weight you can put behind there. That's
now he's
good.
saying good.
You'll be a great massage therapist. And as you get closer here, you lean your body over farther. Okay? Us fellows who have strength, we can rely on certain things, but when you don't have strength, you use your body. Get it over. Good. Good. You're getting it. That's it. Nice. Nice. Now, are you comfortable like that? When I do it, I just have my hand and see. See, girls, I'm not like this. I'm like this because
Yeah,
the
he's saying good.
acronym process is right here, and I'm digging that in. I'm all across here, just digging in, And I'm not comfortable if I'm like this. I'm more comfortable like this. I just let my fingers hang. Okay? Now, maybe you're more comfortable like that. But, you know, I'm saying you learn to
has
do
not
something
practiced
and then
already?
you adapt it to how you feel
you did not
comfortable.
practice?
Try
You
not
didn't?
to
You
vary
didn't?
too far away
Okay,
from what you've
we
learned.
have just 5 minutes left. So let's try as much as possible. We can practice.
And if you
then
want
we
to
may
just
have
go
some of us
real
may have to do on
gently
the
like
next
that, you
class.
could, if you don't know how to do this, then just make it real gentle and just move along.
Ah.
Keep your fingers, it looks like you're getting
Okay.
on it.